Hello, my fellow viewers. Today I want to show you this new type of yield farming bot that actually has a stable anchor built into it. So if the market has any volatility and starts to drop, it sells before the drop, pulls out of the yield, sells into a stable coin, and then when it bottoms out, it buys back in. So not only do you stack money by yield farming, but you stack money by selling before the drop and buying back in to stack more BNB. And then after it bottoms out, it puts back in the yield and starts making more yield. So for this contract, you're going to want, of course, the MetaMask extension installed. And you're going to want some BNB in there and some BUSD in there. And you're going to want to make sure that the BUSD is the BEP20, not the BEP2. You want to have BEP20, which that is what is on the BSC smart chain, which I don't know if there's a possibility you could get the other one in there on the MetaMask. I don't think there is, because I don't think there's any way to send a non-smart chain to the MetaMask. There might be. So you do want to make sure that that is BEP20 BUSD in there. And so after you did that, and you notice all that in there, I have 13 BNB and about 18,265 BUSD. That's about kind of the equal amount of between what the BNB is worth right now and what the value of that is. So you're going to want to have wherever you start off, you're going to have an equal amount of BNB to the BUSD. So if you start off with one BNB and the BNB right now is worth 550, you're going to want to make sure that you have 550 BUSD for it to utilize the whole amount in your contract when you start off. Now, I started off with this, believe it or not, with 0.2 BNB, and then whatever the 0.2 BNB was worth at the time in BUSD. And this is 1 month. 1 month of yield. And it seems like anytime there's volatility in the market, and when it sells off and it buys down low, tremendous amount of money can be made on this. So after you have that all done, you're going to go to the File Explorer, and you're going to go over here and click on this. It says Create New File, and you can call this My Bot SOL. The name is not really important as long as you remember what name you called it, but it has to end in .sol. And then over here, I'm going to paste in the code. I'm going to put the link to this code in the description in a GitHub. There's a few things you have to do here. Oh, and also, this address here is the address of the token of the BUSD you need, of the one, it's the BEP20. So you want to make sure you have the right contract address. It's this one here. Most likely it will be the right one. When you send it to the MetaMask, it'll probably be that one in there. But just in case, that does have, you can also like Google the BUSD BEP20 contract address and put that in your MetaMask, but it should match this right here. I mean, that's usually the biggest error on the BNB network, is like they have the BEP2 and BEP20, and people confuse those and like, hey, this doesn't work. Well, no, they have two different chains there. So you want to make sure you do the right one. And it's even written down in here. you must fund your contract equal dollar amount of BNB and BUSD BEP20. Make sure it's BEP20. Can't stress that enough. When I first did it, I did BEP2, and I wonder why it didn't work, and that's why. And I funded my contract with the BEP2. Didn't work. I lost the BEP2. I think it was, I want to say around $200 I lost in the contract because I didn't use the BEP20. So make sure you use the right stuff in there. And there's some stuff up here. You're going to payout set to the amount of days. The payout yield default is 1. I always set mine to 7. That means each 7 days, the yield from this contract will pay out to the address that launches this contract. So if you launch the contract, it's going to pay out to that address you use to launch this contract. I've been thinking about, I think I'm actually going to change mine to 30. So you change it down here if you want to change the amount of days. So in 30 days from the time you launch the contract, that's when the yield's going to pay out. The reason I'm changing mine to 30 is because you pay gas fees every time it pays out, and you just pay less gas fees if you do a longer stretch. I mean, I'm not in desperate need for money. I can wait. And also, the yield, let's say you have 30 days, that means since it's not paying out, it's going to reinvest. It's going to reinvest. The yield is reinvested. So it's going to reinvest and reinvest, so it builds up more money too in the long run. And in 30 days it pays out. It always keeps what you start off in the contract with. So if you start off, like I start off with 0.2, it's going to always keep the 0.2 BNB and the equivalent of the dollar amount of the BUSD in there, so the contract can keep running. So once you did all that, I hope I give a good enough explanation of everything. Sorry, I like to talk a lot. So I got that in there. I set that. I'm going to go over to this one right here, and I have to change this, the compiler, to, it's right up here. It says this is the compiler version, so 5.17. So let's go to 5.17. And I'm going to click on compile my bot, and that's the name I named it, mybot.sol. And then we're going to go over to this guy here, deploy. I'm going to click this on to inject Web3. So on environment, we're going down to inject Web3, and it should. Now, if you never connected, I've connected my MetaMask here before. But if you haven't, it would have popped up and asked for permission to connect your MetaMask. But mine's already connected. And I'm going to go to deploy, which is right here. I'm going to click, I have to pay some gas money to deploy it. And that has been confirmed. Okay, now since that is confirmed, I can see down here now deployed contracts, and I have this guy here, my high yield bot with stable coin anchor. And I can click here, and it's going to give me some functions. Do I have an action function? But first I'm going to go over here. I have to fund my contract. So I'm going to go to copy. This little guy here copies. And I'm going to go to SYN. So first I need to go over to assets. So I have to check and see what the price of BNB is. And right now for me, the price of BNB is 588. So you want to get that as close as possible. I mean, it doesn't have to be exactly. So I'm going to go to send. I'm going to send to my contract address. I'm going to send 1 BNB. Confirm. And then I'm going to go down here to my BUSD, and I'm going to go to paste in my contract address. And I'm going to, since BNB right now is 588, I'm not going to do the cents. So I'm just going to do 588. I mean, that's close enough. Go to send. And I have to wait until that gets confirmed. Okay. So that's confirmed now. So now I can go over to, well once you have the BNB cent confirmed, and you have the BUSD confirmed, you can go to the action button now, and now this is going to start your bot. So go to action. We're going to send it, and we're going to start it. Now, since your bot is running, you can expect to see your yields show up and the address you used to launch it on the payout time that you have set. Please thumb up my video and subscribe. Thank you.